All right, let's get to it. Welcome to Webinar Wednesday by Brilliant Directories. This is a chance to increase your marketing skills and learn some new strategies to promote your online community. If this is your first Webinar Wednesday, thank you for joining us. It's great to be with you here. I'm Jason there on the left, and we're lucky enough to be joined with Gabe and Patrick. Gabriel is one of the lead support specialists here at Brilliant Directories, super familiar with the ins and outs of the Brilliant Directories platform. And Patrick is with the customization experts, one of the foremost companies, development companies that are building tools and extensions to accompany your Brilliant Directories website. We're very lucky to have both of you with us with Webinar Wednesday, so thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Jay. It's happy to be here.
All right, now that you know who the presenters are, it's almost like we're a family here at Brilliant Directories. You can continue the family relationship in our Facebook marketing group. Most of you I know are already members, but it's important to note that if you're not a member of the Facebook group, it's free to join, and it's a great place to continue the conversations of Webinar Wednesday 24/7 every day of the week. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, and in that group there are awesome discussions and great participation from everyone on tips and strategies to grow your online community and monetize your website, even some workarounds and hacks to set up things on your website to accomplish some goals. So it's a really great place. I'm learning tons of things in that group myself. So you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, and I hope to see you there. And I think we're over 40 Webinar Wednesdays. We started specifically doing Webinar Wednesdays last year in January. Prior to that, we did some specialized webinars on specific topics, but it's really evolved, and it's really a great time for everyone in the BD community to get together and learn about marketing skills to grow your online community faster. So some topics that we'll cover during Webinar Wednesdays are how to convert website visitors into members, how to increase your website traffic, improving the flow and navigation of your website to give your users a more seamless user experience, and also how to generate more revenue, how to easily publish content that will actually rank in Google or engage with visitors and your members. So anything related to marketing and growing your community, those are all great questions to ask during Webinar Wednesday. And because the time during Webinar Wednesday is so precious and so valuable, in order to help maximize the value of the webinars, if you have any questions about reporting known issues or making comprehensive edits to your site or customizations and things like that, feel free to email the Brilliant Directories support team. It's a dedicated team that usually has a one-day response time. That would be a great place to direct those types of questions and inquiries to, so we can focus on the value of how to market and grow your online community in Webinar Wednesdays. Oh, I forgot that we were going to do this week. Okay, great. We have a few updates that we'd like to share with you guys. We're presenting a lot today in this Webinar Wednesday, so I'll try to do these a little quickly. We're launching updates daily. Some of them are projects that are in our queue. Some of them are fixes and recommendations from the community. So in the Webinar Wednesdays, I like to show some of the ones that I think stand out or super useful for you guys. So I'll run through these. One of them is corner styles in your design settings, streaming widget settings, adding text to your bookmark favorites, and we also have an updated look for the classifieds theme that we're working on. And I can actually kill two birds with one stone, showing you the updated classifieds theme that's currently being worked on, and also the corner style designs. So let me dive in here. And this is the updated classifieds theme, and what you'll notice here, you can notice that the corners, the edges and corners are all square. Generally, let me go to another demo site that we have. Generally, the elements are rounded. You can see rounded buttons here, and even the rounded section here. It really depends on what style you want for your website. I think now for 2018, the fashion is square corners. It can obviously change at any moment, but let me show you guys where that option is in your design settings. You can toggle on over to the design settings section of your website, and under the additional design settings, you'll have an option here, corner style, and you can have rounded corners, which is default, or you could have square corners. And I think it really makes a compelling difference on how the site looks and feels, being able to have that option. So it's really nice. And then here with the classifieds theme, the previous theme was nice, but we personally felt it was lacking a few things. So we're going to put the ability to show classified categories with some icons that represent them on the homepage. So you could have your classified categories on the homepage. You can obviously choose what you want those categories to be, depending on what the focus of your classified site is. What I'm liking even more, and I think we're going to push this kind of layout or design to the other demos and themes that we offer, is a sleeker search result design. You're getting a lot more information compared to what our previous theme looked like. I don't have an example of what that looked like. We've already discarded that, but you're getting the condition, the status, the price, the location, all in one location here. And then obviously you're getting a really impressive and really beautiful detail page for the classified listing. And this is an example on the right here of the author snapshot that we showed in previous webinars as well. It looks really nice here next to posts such as classifieds. So we're excited about this new classifieds theme and this awesome corner style design. You can see all these modules have sharp 90-degree angles rather than rounded corners. So just a nice little stylistic touch there. Streaming widget settings. Let's touch on this one. Pat, can you kind of explain what streaming widgets are in the first place?
Absolutely. So a streaming widget is content that you would like to highlight to visitors coming to your website, primarily on your homepage.
Right. So
in this case, we're streaming the newest members. If you have a coupon website, you'll probably want to stream your latest coupons, videos, and so forth. So the widgets that you're looking at here, those are the different streaming widgets that are available on Brilliant Directories.
Yeah, and up until now, the only real things you could control are things like what the title says and how many listings to show for different things. So what we've done, and I think we're going to be developing this further depending on how the reaction is from the community. Now if you go to your, I went there a little quick, if you go to your design settings and your homepage layout tab, you can obviously choose the homepage section orders. Those are the different items that you would like to be streaming down the homepage. In this case, there's blog articles, events, and so on. In the next tab are the options for the homepage section orders. And let me just, this is a nice tool. You can just show the ones that you're using on your homepage. So for the recent blog articles, now there's more options here. Only show posts that have photos uploaded with them. Only include posts from active members. So if maybe you have members that are on hold or canceled. Here's one that I think is super valuable. You can limit posts to membership level IDs. So a lot of people say, I only want my premium members coupons to show on the homepage. You can now do that. All you have to do is put the ID of the membership level. You can do it by multiple membership levels. And let me show you where you can get the ID for a membership level. And I think this is one of the coolest things about this update. So if you go to your finance tab to manage products, each product has an ID associated with it. That's essentially the ID of the membership level or product. You can call them whatever you like here. So if on this site they only wanted their Nirvana premium listings to show the blog articles from, you could just go ahead and type in 1 there, and only articles from that membership level would show. And all these, some of them have different options. Recent events has some options. It looks like it's missing that one. We're going to be working to decide what options we should add for all the different things you can show on your homepage. But now there are some really great starting points and a lot more control with what you can add and control how it shows on your homepage. Did I miss anything?
Those are some great updates, Jason. No, that's amazing. Particularly the fact that you're able to now reward your premium members with great real estate, which is on the homepage, and tell them that if you upgrade to their highest tier, then their deals or their videos will show up on the homepage. That's fantastic.
I agree. Shout out to the development team for getting that launched for us. Okay, the next thing I'd like to show is add text to bookmark favorites. I can just show you a very quick example of what I'm referring to. Let's go on over to our new classifieds theme, and we'll click on cars. And a lot of you might be familiar with seeing the heart next to certain posts. I think our older demo has it. Let's go to search listings here. Yeah, so we're all familiar with this heart here. You can favorite different posts. You now have the ability to add text after the icon. So in this case, we're using the word bookmark. You can change it to save, favorite, or something that matches kind of the theme of your site, the industry of your site. So you can add text behind that, and let me show you where you would add that text. You can go to your settings, and you can go to text labels, which essentially controls about 90% of the language and verbiage and phrases that you see around your site. Just search for in the filter bookmark. By default, it's empty. But what you can do if you wanted, you can put save or bookmark, whatever you like, and it'll add that extra text after the icon you've selected. And by the way, let me also say you can change the icon to match your site. So maybe you have an auto site for cars and vehicles. In the search results design settings, you can actually change what you want your favorite icon to be. And there's a couple hundred icons here, I think. So you can find something that could suit, match the theme or niche of your site. And if you marry the icon with the text, like bookmark, one, it brings a lot more attention to the feature. The heart was good, but it might get overlooked by certain types of users. There's no way anyone's going to miss the bookmark feature here, and it looks good in grid view as well. So just another way to give your site more control of your site to you, and also controlling some text and highlighting an important feature, which is the bookmarking favorites feature. Did I miss anything there, Pat?
No, great work. It's one of the most underutilized tools that Brilliant Directories offers, and it really kind of gives a Pinterest experience when people are able to go to your site. I really like this, for example, for a properties website. If you're looking to purchase a home, or if you're looking to rent an apartment, you're going to see a lot of different search results. And if you're able to allow the end users to save the 10 properties that caught their eye so they can show their spouse or they can show their roommates, offering that sort of functionality is fantastic. And in order to save that bookmark, you're going to be collecting their email address. So you're creating general user accounts, and the more general user accounts you can promote to advertisers, the more value your brand and website has. So it's one of the best features really for growing the overall value of your directory.
Yep, actually let's do, I know I don't want to spend too much time on this, but since we're here, let's do a quick demo of how somebody would bookmark their favorites. So they come to your site, they're perusing, they're browsing around, and they see something, and they see the word bookmark or save for later, whatever now you have control over that text. When they click on it, if they're not logged in, they're going to be prompted to log in, or again, you can control the verbiage here, or create an account. So I'll just go ahead and log in here because I have the access here. Okay, great. Let's go back to those listings and let's favorite a couple of these. So we'll bookmark this, we'll bookmark this, we'll bookmark this. And what's really cool is when you go back to edit your listing or go to your account, I just thought of something else. You could you could modify this, and it would be nice to see view favorites here, Pat. So from right here, you can go to your favorites on the left side of the logout. That would be a nice place to put that text.
Absolutely.
So
view, it would be fantastic.
View profile, edit listing, logout, and over here it says view favorites or whatever the keyword is you're using. And essentially that would take you to in the sidebar for the members dashboard. They have their favorites, and I've favorited 3 classifieds. Let me close this, and I can see the 3 classifieds that I favorited here. And if your site has other content like coupons, events, and even member listings, each one is itemized. So you can see here I'm only seeing my classified ads. Here's something cool. Let's actually view the profile of John. Just one more example. I can bookmark my own profile, and just to show you guys how the add to favorite works, now I should have a listing here, which is my own, which I've favorited, John Smith, and I have my classified ads. So it's nicely organized for the users who are bookmarking their favorites or saving their favorites. All right. All right, that covers all our updates. Really exciting stuff, and tons more stuff underway. It's been one of the most productive years, 2018, for Brilliant Directories, so it's really exciting for everyone. All right, recommended reading. Pat and Gabe recommended this book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. Gabe, what was this book about? What was one of your favorite parts about this book since you recommended it?
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. You know, in the book, there was a great analogy that really resonated with me, and it kind of falls back on the title of the book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. And, you know, they're describing this boxing match, right, and how a boxer, when they walk into a boxing match, they don't go straight in for that right hook, that killer right hook out of the gate, and that they first, you know, throw a few jabs, they throw a few punches, and after a few rounds, they throw in that killer right hook, hopefully knocking out their opponent, right? And translating that a bit into business and marketing, it just means that when you're starting off a new business, you have to, you know, provide some quality content, some valuable content to your audience, the audience that you want to dominate, to be able to offer them, you know, a promotion, your product, to even sell them something. You know, you have to prove yourself to them, and that's really what resonated with me from the book.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. So what are the jabs, Pat, and what is the right hook?
All right, beautiful. So we actually covered this in the last webinar when we built, I don't know if it was the last one or two webinars ago, we actually built a lead magnet. I don't know if you can go and show us that lead magnet that we built during that webinar, but essentially this is a jab because you're softening someone up for the sale. You don't want to ask somebody from their credit card. The hook would essentially be asking them to sign up for a paid listing. So what we're offering here via lead magnet is we're telling them, hey, here's this amazing content. You can give us your email and you'll get to download this for free. And what are you showing us here, Jason?
This is another landing page, another ebook offer.
Yeah, very nice. So yeah, Brilliant Directories ebook offer, the exact same thing. And actually, anybody on this webinar would actually benefit from downloading this ebook. It's a very helpful ebook, a ton of great content. And this is an absolute jab. You're not asking for someone's credit card information in order for them to acquire that. So getting an ebook is a form of a jab. Once you get their email and you continue giving them quality after quality, there comes a time where it is the right time to go and execute and ask them to sign up or ask them to upgrade to a paid listing. And there's a variety of jabs that you can throw. I know we spent time on the ebook, but something else that you can do to help grow your network, you don't have to build an ebook or build a brochure. You could actually go around in Facebook groups. So if you have a lawyer website, if you have a dentist website, if you have a local directory website, any type of website, what you could do is you can go join Facebook groups, strategy groups, and you can just wait until people ask questions where perhaps you're able to give something. You're not selling something, you're not promoting, you're giving them valuable content. Actually, I have a pretty good example of this. I did one just recently in the Brilliant Directories strategy marketing group, which I really recommend everybody join. We had somebody asking a question about banner advertisements, and they wanted to be able to display ads based on categories and locations to maximize ad revenue. And I had actually recorded a video for the customization experts showing people how they can use Ad Butler using Brilliant Directories with no customizations required, with no additional purchases required outside of signing up for Ad Butler. There's no sale to be made with creating such a video. It's truly just quality content, helpful content that hopefully can assist somebody that's looking to do something like Sam is looking to do here. And of course, the goal eventually becoming that you hope you build a relationship, and perhaps one day that person considers working with you because you've proven yourself to be a quality provider. So that's another example of a job.
Yeah, I haven't read this book, but it sounds really exciting. And you know, among other things, I think the key here is to demonstrate your expertise by providing resources that actually help people. And when somebody is actually ready to make a buying decision, you're going to be first on their mind, and the first person they're going to consider to invest their dollar with. So really good book there. I'm going to actually listen to it. There's an audio book. There was an Audible on this, right, Gabe?
Yeah, absolutely. It was like $25
Okay, cool.
on Audible, but you
No,
can probably download it for free somewhere.
gotcha. Yeah, no, it's worth the investment to get a book like this because it's helping your marketing skills, which is invaluable to have. All right, and speaking of that, speaking of jabs and right hooks and knockouts, let's do a flash survey right now. I'm gonna throw a poll up on here for you guys. You guys will see it. What do you offer free members? What do you offer for free before your members sign up to your website? So I'm gonna launch this poll here. You should see it on your screen. If you can answer, there's about 4 or 5 options there, and it's interesting to know if you're even thinking about offering things for free before asking your members to pay and join your community. All right. It looks, then let me make sure I'm sharing the screen correctly now. It looks as though 77% of you guys out there are not offering anything. 5% said they're offering free tools and solutions. 7% said a free brochure or ebook. Another 7% said free access to exclusive content, and 5% said free webinar or training. Pat, why is it even important to do this? To give people free stuff before they sign up to your website? I know that we just went over it with you, but why is this necessary?
The way I look at it is like this. You did all of the work to bring somebody to your website. So you spent all this time. It could be Facebook marketing, it could be content, it could be SEO. It could have taken you years of effort to get a website visitor to come to your website. And if you don't have a way to capture their contact information, the chances are, and the only thing you're betting on is that this person is going to take out their credit card and they're going to sign up for an account on my website, even though they've never heard of it before. They're just going to want to purchase something right away. The likelihood of that happening, if you're a newer website and a brand that doesn't have a lot of recognition, is very small. So offering something in exchange for an email, nurturing, giving them it's an easy sell. Here's an amazing tool. Here's an amazing service. It's free. Take it, download it. It's a great way, like Jason said, to give credibility. You're viewed as an expert, and you're able to nurture that relationship moving forward.
Now, if you're not having any problems or issues converting visitors into signups, then you might not need anything. But what that does mean is that you have a unique value proposition to visitors that is so compelling that they want to join your site, whether it's for free or for paid memberships. So if you're not offering something for free, you must have a darn good mission statement or purpose that you're selling people onto your site, and it's probably really simple and easy to understand and digest. I think I just answered a question on this morning on Facebook that was related to this. Someone was asking, I keep trying to get people to sign up for my site, but they keep asking me, well, how many people do I already have on my site? And I provided some ideas on how to answer to rebuttal that kind of question. But okay, so I think it's clear that if you're not converting enough members or you're not satisfied with the number of people you're converting to your site, having some sort of a lead magnet or free offer can definitely benefit you. And I think that's.
But of course.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say that's the perfect lead-in. Once you have that tool, once you have something to offer, how do you leverage that asset and drive people to your site and start collecting those emails, which is exactly what you're going to talk about right here.
Yeah, so you spent the time to set up your Brilliant Directories website. You loaded it with content. You loaded it with members. You've created landing pages. But now the question is, how do you bring people to your site? Well, one way is to wait for Google to show your site in their search results. That is a nice approach, but it can take a lot of time for some websites. The other approach is to take a proactive stance and try to get your site out there. And there's lots of different ways to get your site out there. Obviously, you want to be on the networks where your potential users and members are. We wanted to use Facebook in this example and Facebook ads because they are highly effective, and it's probably the most common place that most people, not everybody, but most people will find qualified audiences that they can advertise to and bring to their website. So for this week's tip of the week, we want to show you how to set up your first Facebook ad, because we talk a lot about capturing emails and doing all these things, and so in some of the webinars we've gone into more detail, but now let's show you how to actually set up a Facebook ad after you've done all the other work. Landing pages, your site is set up, it's beautiful. Let's take a proactive approach and bring people to your website. Pat, can you help explain some of these benefits of why Facebook ads specifically could be beneficial for most of the people in the webinar today?
Absolutely. One of the things that I like most about Facebook marketing is that you're able to define an audience. When you're advertising, for example, on Google, you're going to be paying per click. However, you have no way to know who's going to be seeing your ad. So anybody that's doing a search on Google and clicks on your ad you're going to be charged for that particular banner. It tends to be more expensive as well, but again, to me, it's the fact that you're not able to tell Google, I want only people that are living in this city that are of between this age bracket and this age, that are this gender, that have this level of education, that have kids or don't have kids. Really, depending on your niche, you should be able to define a specific group where you'd be happy to pay for somebody in that audience to go to your website, because if the right person comes to your website, your entire site is based on providing them with value, so you're attracting the right potential customer.
Awesome. And I think also starting from the bottom, the analytics that you're building, the question that the lady has asked in the Facebook group, she says, I have nothing to show potential people who are going to be advertising on my site. So also having Facebook ads helps you build analytics on how much traffic is coming to your site based on how many people are clicking on the ads as well.
That's correct. And some of the things that we like to do when you're posting a good article, or if a member posted a good article, posting that on the Facebook group on your page and boosting it will make a public, will show the public an increased amount of likes. So it's a great way for you to add that credibility. When we're trying to attract potential advertisers, we actually take screenshots of our top performing posts and show them how many comments, how many engagements, how many impressions, how many likes, how many shares do our posts have. So it's a great way to increase the value of your brand as well during a sales presentation.
That's right. So these are just some of the benefits. We came up with 6 that off the top of our head that we thought would be high value benefits of Facebook ads. Let's talk about a little bit of what you'll need to actually create a Facebook ad. And the first thing is you'll need a web page to direct people to or to promote in the Facebook ad. And some ideas for web pages. Again, a lot of this sounds similar, but it's important to know the options that are available to you. A web page that you could lead someone to who may click on your Facebook ad could be a lead magnet, such as an ebook or some other type of offer, a free offer that you'll be presenting to people. You can also link people to a helpful blog article or resource page on your website. Just make sure that at the end of the article or on the sidebar of the page, you have a method to collect an email address, perhaps to subscribe to your newsletter, or again, some other lead magnet or ebook that would capture an email address. If you're going for the paid sign up, you could create an irresistible offer. If someone may already be familiar with your brand, and Facebook does have ways to know who's already following your page, you could target that audience with an irresistible offer to actually join your site. And we've talked about how to create an irresistible offer in previous webinars as well. You can also link to member profile pages. Maybe there's a high-profile member or someone who's well-known in the industry that is a member of your site, and you can link directly to their profile page through a Facebook ad. And the member would probably appreciate that, and it helps your website look good. And the potential members who see that member probably want to have that kind of exposure as well. So that could encourage some signups that way. And then one of the most overlooked ones is number 5 here, to link to any other type of valuable post you might have on your site, which could be a coupon or event or job listing.
That's correct, and I find what you highlighted a little bit, but the profile pages and the job postings and the events. If I have never heard of a website and I am a painter, and I'm just on my Facebook page and I see a boosted post of a painter in my town, so that the audience would obviously be whatever town I'm in, I would, as a painter, say, what is this website? That will speak to me volumes more than anything else, because I'm going to say, wow, there's a platform out there where I can promote my painting services. There's a good chance they'll click on that, even though they're a competitor, and they'll start investigating your website. So it's one of the best ways of educating the public on the type of content that they can promote on there.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. One of the best things you could do to attract potential members is to flaunt their competitors on your website. And that would encourage me to want to join that website in a heartbeat if I saw the competition listed there, because they're getting the exposure and I'm not. So that's a great asset for most websites to leverage. All right, we wanted to keep this as simple as possible. So number 2 is basically what you need for a Facebook ad. And mind you, this is the last step. So there's only 2 steps. Find a page that you want to promote and then make the Facebook ad. So to make the Facebook ad, you just need 4 main things. One of them is the page you want to promote. Number 2 is, and it's provided by Facebook, the high quality image that's going to accompany the Facebook ad, and coming up with a clever title, description, and also what the button is going to say that people click on. As long as you have a Visa, MasterCard, or American Express, Facebook will happily take your dollars and promote your ad to their network. So what we wanted to do is dive right into it and build a Facebook ad with you. So remember that this is there will be a replay of this, so it will be online. But if you'd like to, you can definitely take some notes as we build a Facebook ad to promote a page. And Pat, I think we were going to use the interior design demo, but I think
Yes.
I think it'll be just a little easier to comprehend if we use the Brilliant Directories ebook that we offer here. So what we want to do is log into Facebook. So I'm logged into my Facebook account here. And what you can do, let's click on this arrow over here. Their interface might change over time, but the concept might be similar. What you can do is probably click on Manage Ads first rather than create an ad. And you can make sure you have a credit card on file and whatnot. I'll go ahead and click on my name here. And hopefully it goes a little slower and there's not too much lag from Facebook. It's loading a lot of stuff here. Okay. So what we want to do now that we're in the Facebook Ads Manager, we have some ads here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Create a New Campaign. And there's more options here. I think what we want to do is create a complete campaign, right, Pat?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, it looks like I was in the middle of creating an ad. I'm just going to click Start Over. And let's see here. They've actually changed the interface a little bit, which is not that important. So what we want to do is create an objective, select an objective for the campaign. And what we want are, let's
traffic.
say traffic.
Traffic, absolutely. For this particular campaign.
Traffic, okay. So campaign name, I'm going to call it ebook, and we'll hit continue. Okay, great. Now we can create an ad set. Now, what's the difference between an ad set and an ad, Pat? I think the main difference is you can choose different audiences in an ad set.
That's correct. So you can, and also it gives you a little bit of a metric. So an ad set could be, for example, you're promoting products, and these are 3 different products that you're promoting. So you can have a budget for that, see which ones are performing better out of the ad set itself.
Okay.
But it needs to be promoting something similar.
Okay. I'm going to give this ad set a nickname. Call it Males Over 50 Years Old. And we want traffic to our website. You can obviously send traffic to different places like an app or your messenger. We're going to select website. And here's where we can create our audiences. The audience are the people that you want to target, which is a lot different than Google Ads. Google Ads does let you choose a location, and in some capacity demographics such as male and female if people have entered that into their Google Plus account, but most people don't manage their Google Plus account these days, but they do manage their Facebook account. So I think Facebook does this a little bit better with their targeting. So I'm going to create a new audience here, and what I can do is start with locations. So I'm going to type in Los Angeles. And let's see here, it's being a little finicky. Let's type that again. Los Angeles, California. And the age group, I'm going to choose 55 or 50. And we'll just, the maximum is 65 plus, so that's fine. And I can select men. I can even choose the language they speak. So, you know, you're really targeting people who speak your language. And I'll do all the, that's fine. UK, all right. So further, you can target people that have certain interests. So you can target people who like technology.
Entrepreneurs.
Correct. Now, what you want to do here is you don't want to get too broad and you don't want to be too specific. If you're too specific, it's not going to be a large enough market to target almost, but you don't want to go too broad. Technology is a very broad field, so maybe we want to target entrepreneurs. Exactly, entrepreneurship as an interest. Whoops, it's acting finicky here. It's okay.
And then just while you're doing that, and for those that want a little bit more advanced marketing tips, a little inside story here. We do sell on one of the businesses I help run is an online TEFL course, and what we did was we actually ran the same ad set for every United States state. So that we were running over 50 campaigns at the same time with the equal budget. We put $25 in each. And we ran it for a month, and what we did is we got analytics from that, and we identified which ones performed best, where our highest value was, and now we strictly market to 5 states. There's only 5 states we'll spend marketing dollars on. The value of learning that marketing lesson using these types of tools is incredible, because now we're not advertising all throughout the United States. We're strictly advertisers in the places that give us the best opportunity to convert. So anybody on this webinar right now, I can assure you your marketing dollars will be better spent in certain regions or certain countries and certain demographics. So you want to keep working at your audiences and do similar ads so that you can compare those numbers. It's really exciting stuff when you do a deep dive.
And the best part about this is you can do that kind of testing for pennies on the dollar. You don't have to set huge bank-breaking budgets. You can set a small budget of $3 or $5 per day, whatever the minimum is that Facebook has defined, and just wait a month and see what happens. So the price of a cup of coffee from Starbucks in the large size, about $5 a day, you can actually test a campaign and then make informed decisions about how to move forward and actually get results with your marketing efforts. So I saved the changes for the ad set. Now I'm creating one specific ad that will accompany this. I'm just going to call this ebook ad. It's asking me to connect it to a page I manage, so that's Brilliant Directories. And let's see here. You can choose different formats. I'm just going to go with their recommended one, a single image. And here's the section where I choose the image. And they have free stock images. So this is related to, website design, but you can choose any of their stock images. Let me do something. Let's look for something that's totally unrelated. So let's look for plumber. So here you can see stock images they offer for plumber. So really whatever the industry your website is targeting, there's an appropriate image that you can select here. Let's just look for another one, mom holding baby, just to get super random here. So Facebook has done the hard work of finding images to accompany your ad. So you can just choose the one you want. So let's just look for Wall Street, since this is created to generating revenue. Okay, we'll just choose this image here. It's being a little finicky. There we go. Let me confirm that.
And something else that I love that Facebook does is you can actually add multiple images. What Facebook will do is it will run all of if you just click on the plus button next to that image, you can add additional images. Facebook will randomly show them all, and it will decide based on what's converting best which image to stick with. So you get even more data, and you can find out, I want to compare, was it a stock image? Was it somebody on a laptop? Was it the image of money? Which type of image do our customers respond to better? So it's amazing tools at your disposal and no extra cost.
Yep. So yeah, when you're creating an ad, choose about 4 or 5 images, and then it will tell you which image is kind of getting the most engagement. So yeah, that's definitely worthwhile mentioning. Okay, as we scroll down a bit, what's in red here is the website URL, and what's the URL we're going to share, Pat?
The ebook, yes. Let's do it.
The link to the page you want people to go to. And then we have some options here, like a headline. and it shows you a preview here. So this headline is actually showing down here under the image, if you can see. And what we can do is, one of the best ways to build, and I guess there's a limit. And sometimes you want to, a strategy is don't finish the sentence, just put a ... and it might encourage people to want to, their curiosity to click on what you're talking about. That works in some cases. And I think here's the title text here at the top. I passed it. You know, looking to find more ways, whatever you come up with. You know, it could be the text here. We've created the subtitle, and now here's the button where it says learn more. So depending on what your call to action is, Facebook has predefined options for what to click on. So it could be donate, contact, download, get offer, apply now, or learn more. So in this case, we could do get offer. And that's it. We're done, right, Pat?
Yes, sir. Looks
right.
Great.
So we would just hit confirm. And if there's a valid credit card on file, again, Facebook is more than happy to take your money. But you're going to get valuable data, and you're going to be driving traffic to your site for pennies on the dollar. So this is in draft mode. It's just going to be checked by Facebook. But we're done. We've selected an audience. We've selected a page we want to promote. Hopefully that's a page that's going to convert and get capture emails, and then you can market to those emails later in email marketing, which is really the most effective. Is once you have an email list and sending them quality emails that, again, familiarize them with your brand, throw a few jabs at them with some good content, and once you got them, you can throw the right hook and send them a really irresistible offer to sign up to your site. Let's do this. Let's actually take some questions about Facebook ads here. If you guys have some questions about the Facebook ad process that we just went through, we'll just take a couple questions. Nobody has questions. Fantastic. That means we did an awesome job explaining that. But yeah, this is probably one of the best things you could do to start drawing traffic to your website and actually have data that you can show people that, hey, your website matters and it's doing something important. Right. And that brings us to our contest of the week, which is to share our most recent Facebook post. You can go to facebook.com/Brilliant Directories. We have a pinned post at the top. It should look something like this here. And if you share this post, you can just click the share button. That's all you need to do. You can say something nice if you like. If you share that post, in the next webinar, we will select a random winner to win $200 in BD credits that you can use for additional websites, add-ons, training calls, and more. So you can go to facebook.com/Brilliant Directories. Look for our most recent post. It says check out this helpful Facebook group. And it links to our Facebook group for Brilliant Directories. And you'll automatically be entered into the contest, and we'll reveal the winner in the next webinar. All right, and we do have a showcase winner. If you guys know, in previous webinars, we have showcased certain websites and helped review them to provide some helpful and constructive feedback. In this webinar, we're going to feature Greg Campese's site. And Greg, I'm going to unmute your microphone here, get you logged in to the chat with us. All right, you there with us, Greg?
Yeah, hey guys.
Hey, Greg. Yeah, thanks for submitting your site to be showcased. We really appreciate that. And you've been with BD for a couple years now. Tell us a little bit about your website in just a couple sentences.
Yeah, so I run a nonprofit, spiritual, holistic, all that kind of fun stuff. And we wanted to create a website that was an event calendar and a directory for people, places, things, holistic, natural, spiritual, all that kind of fun stuff.
Okay.
So, and actually, we started with WordPress and run into a bunch of snags, and I found Brilliant Directories searching around, and it's just amazing. Your guys' software just was perfect in every way for us.
Great to hear that. Great to hear that. And in the showcase, the site segment here, our goal here is to kind of provide you with some assistance to kind of help you in an area that you hope to be doing better in. How is there a specific area of your site that you think is lacking, whether it's the level of member engagement or visitor engagement or traffic to your site?
Yeah, I guess for me, what I really need to do a little bit more with is calls to action to get people to join the site. And for me, it's a little bit of a tug of war, because for us marketing to the general community, for me, my biggest thing is the event calendar, because I wanted to create something that helps people find events that are like nourishing for their soul, meditations and workshops and things like that. And, from a marketing perspective too, the fact that we have ongoing events, it's a reason for people to constantly be coming back to the website to see what events are going on in the area. So it's a great way to keep people coming back to the site. We've also been doing really good with our blog. We, throwing our blog out there on Facebook to also drive traffic to the site. But where I'm falling short is when people get to the site, I need to let them know that this is also a directory that they can sign up for and try to start generating more revenue using the site.
Gotcha, understood.
Just so you know too, just so you know too, we offer a free level membership, and then a middle tier paid, and then the high level VIP paid. So those are our 3 levels.
Okay. And are the events and the blog posts contributed by the members, or are you exclusively posting those?
The events are by the members. Right now, the blog is just by us.
Okay. That's fine. That's usually how normally the website owner is managing the blog. That's, as Pat says, your holy place to post information about your site and whatever you'd like to share. So member signups, you'd like to convert more visitors into paying or free or paid members, just to start with, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously paid would be nicer, but I mean, at this point, even just getting them to sign up for free, is the first step.
Okay. Yeah, Pat and I took a look at your site just before the webinar. So for the end user, you want it as a place to search for events, and then the events are provided by the users ultimately.
Yes.
Okay, and I have one final question for you. Who are the 2 types of members? Who is the type of member that's searching for events, and who is the type of member that's posting an event? What type of person is searching for an event?
So the type of people searching for events are people in the holistic world, or on a little bit of a spiritual path, or just looking for some kind of like self-help, self-improvement kind of a thing.
So they're seeking.
If we really want to get, yes, seekers, yes.
Seekers, and the ones posting,
yeah,
are, they have the
people posting. Sorry.
Go ahead. I think we're having a little mic. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're just fading in and out a little bit on my end. People posting events are mainly people that have holistic centers and are doing ongoing events, at their center. That's one of the biggest types of people, or just people that are putting on events like as part of their job, event planners.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so that's kind of what I just wanted to make sure that's kind of what we extracted just by kind of looking at the site. Pat, I'll pass it over to you because you had some really good suggestions here on how to kind of guide the user experience.
All right, thank you, Jason. Yes, so very good site. I do like the concept. It's a passionate base For me, what we're looking at right here, the top fold of the website, you did a pretty good job here. It's pretty clear what the website's about. Where I got a little bit confused is when I went to the sign up page, because on the home page you're clearly promoting the events. The search on the home page is for events. So I get that events is really the main focus of this particular website. Yes, there's a directory element to it, but that's not at the forefront of this particular website. When you're talking about call to actions, it sounds like Jason just said, the people that are going to be signing up on your website, they're people that are going to be posting events, and that's the primary content. So I think if you simplified the sign up process, for example, instead of get listed today, what if it said post your event? That is a lot more educational to somebody that's new to the website, so they can understand, oh, okay, I can post my event here. It's not as intimidating as a get listed today. Another option that you might have if you're looking to increase conversions, and my question to you is, how often of the people that sign up, how often do people sign up straight away for the paid listing without having to speak to you or being nurtured?
Not many. Most of our signups are the free ones.
Okay, so if that's the case, and that's where you're collecting data, right? So you're learning most people are just signing up for the free level regardless. So if you're not converting on this page, there's a couple options that you can have. One, you can just make it so that if I click on post my event, that it just takes me to the sign up form, so you can collect as many emails as possible. If I just had to put in my email and my password when I clicked add my event or share my event, and this is what I saw, I can assure you the conversion rates would increase substantially. Of course, it'd be on you to nurture them and upgrade them to paid listings, but at least you get more emails right out of the gates. If your goal was to improve the pricing page itself and increase conversions, I think Jason and I both agreed here that you need to strip a lot of these features. I think you should really force yourself to think, what are the 7 top features that I'm really offering members, and highlight those 7 features. So when I see things like, I believe there was coupons, I believe there were, I know at the bottom there's audio gallery and video gallery and products gallery, a Google map. It's a lot of information for me to take in, and I thought this was a website about events, and I myself got a little bit confused, and I said, well, let me go back to his homepage. Maybe I didn't connect all the dots. Maybe it's not an event directory after all. So I would recommend going that route if what you're looking for is to get more conversions for the paid tiers.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because when I started this, and probably for the first year, that homepage was about driving people to sign up for the directory, and that's why I have my paid tiers listed this way with these types of add-ons for the listing. But then I realized at some point that what's gonna for the general public, what's gonna keep them coming back to the site is the events, and that's why I switched the homepage to push the events. So I'm in, again, it's like this little bit of a tug of war where where do we fall? Because I really do want the directory to also be almost as important as the events for people, but it's hard to advertise both at the same time without confusing people too much.
Gotcha. Let me show you one thing. Again, the classifieds theme is just a demo site, but on the sign up page on a classified site, what can you really do besides post classifieds? So the two plans we created on the demo was a basic user, and they could publish only one classified ad, and the power seller, we're calling them, so you can obviously change that. They get a bit more. They get a searchable profile, their phone number is visible, and they can publish unlimited classified ads. So setting one asset that you have with your Brilliant Directories website is limiting how many total posts of a certain feature like classified ads or events someone can have at one time. So you might want to consider, again, making your pricing page a bit shorter, maybe even limiting it down to 2 options to simplify it even further, and really make the paid one irresistible compared to the free one. The free one is a great kind of starter way to get people into the site, and then your paid one can really have true added value for the potential member. But solving the problem that you mentioned, are you an events directory or finding the professionals, the holistic professionals directory? And then also you have another caveat, is that not all the professionals have events, right?
Correct.
But they still want to be listed in the directory. So actually those are your 3 plans in my opinion. So you have like a free starter plan, which could just be the directory listing, and then you have like an events plan. It's events plus directory listing. Just giving you some ideas on ways you can structure your plans that would let people know how they can participate on your site more effectively. So maybe publish, and I know you want everyone to publish events, even your free members, so maybe you limit it to like publish 1 event or publish 5 events versus publish unlimited events.
Yeah. Well, and part of this is building the website up and building the community versus at some point, focusing on actually generating some revenue. So maybe at some point, I have to stop allowing the free events, and that is what they're paying for. Because, my middle tier is only $33 for a year. It really is not much money for somebody that's serious about promoting themselves. So it might be logical to say, hey, we'll let you post all the events you want, but you got to at least pay the $33 a year.
I mean, even your 99 might I don't know, I'm not too familiar with the industry, but even the 99 would make sense. Again, if you present a unique value proposition for the premium listing compared to the free listing. And again, I think you're, like Pat said, you may be showcasing things that might not have too much emotional value for a potential member. And once you can focus to, up to maybe 5 to 10 feature benefits, and this is a good note for everyone, 5 to 10 features that really resonate emotionally with someone. They say, dang, I really got to join this site because I need those things. Some of the things like logo, you might want to eliminate. So as Pat said, you should try to think really hard about what things really will emotionally connect with the members.
Yeah, and business, you're right, and I hadn't even really thinking about like business name. Like, of course, your business name is going to be listed. That doesn't need to be something that I have that I'm pitching people.
Right. No, and
so this, logo and business name could probably both go.
Yeah, and you haven't done anything wrong. You're trying to show the maximum value for the packages, but again, you might not be connecting emotionally with the during the sign up process.
What I find converts best on a page like this, if you're going to go 3 levels, and right now you're putting all those words there because you want them to understand what's included, but people tend to be visual learners. So perhaps what you do is you create a sample of each. So view awakened listing, view enlightened listing, view Nirvana listing, and when they click on them, you make sure that Nirvana listing looks absolutely amazing and it has a ton of content. So that people can click, it opens up in a new tab, and they'll learn what's included in each. And then I'll see, wow, for $33 a year, I don't want my profile to look like this, I want it to look like that. That would help convert more than trying to describe it to them this way.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
And another thing is, you have a Facebook community?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that could be valuable for the Nirvana is that you can boost their events on your social media page. So not only what they get on your website, but what you'll do for your premium members, for being premium members, is offer them, you can post and say like, check out this event from so and so, and that's super high value, and you don't have to promise that you'll do it every day or every week. Just say at least once a year you'll get a mention on our Facebook page. And that's another way to add value. It costs you nothing. It gives you great material to share on your Facebook page. They're essentially doing the work for you. They're paying you to help market your own website with a scenario like that. Can we touch on your main menu link for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. In my opinion, perhaps donate and contact and or blog and about could be up here in the mini nav. Maybe not all of them, but some of them could be pushed up to the mini nav, and that will allow you to bring a little bit more attention to some of the more important links in your main menu.
Okay.
Do you mind if we update a couple of those right now?
Yeah, I would say let's move the donate button to the top. I think that would be good.
Donate. Do you think could we do contact also?
The thing. So here's my question: is when you look at this on a phone, what happens? I forget. Like that top menu. Do the links in the top menu disappear?
Yeah, you'll see what's in the top menu here. Here's an example. So here's your member login, and so on. So if there's enough space for them, they'll be side by side. So you'll see donate and contact. The rest of your menu links are in the toggle, which is standard on a phone.
Right. Okay. So my question is, so if we have a phone number and member login and donate and contact, then when you're looking at it on a phone, is that too much on the phone to see?
You could also remove them from that. You could. How many people are filling out your contact us form?
Not a lot. I mean, every now and then we get some coming in.
You can shorten member login and just have the word login.
Login, yeah.
Probably login, contact, and donate would be fine to have there.
Okay.
And I have a way for you to hide some on mobile if you'd like as well. And you can always tuck things into your footer as well. That's a nice place to put all excess links that you want to be accessible on mobile. The reason I want to do that is I want to show you how you can again, this is all about navigation, and there's nothing wrong with your site or what you're doing. It's just how you're presenting it to the world. So let's go to
I understand.
Let's go to your menu manager and let's edit the mini nav. And perhaps maybe I know you're still thinking about how you want, if you want to showcase events or not, but maybe we can add your holistic business or holistic practice instead of get listed today. Just a little bit more specific. We could change member login to login, and we can add a new link. Let me grab them real quick. So this will be your contact. And I like the donate up there. It shows that that's important to your organization.
Yeah. I mean, I wish more people use that button, but it also shows that we're nonprofit, which is why I think it's good to be a little more visible.
Now, if perhaps you didn't want some of these to show on mobile, I'll just show everyone a little trick here. What you could do is toggle open this edit button. So let's say you didn't want donate to show on mobile. You could type hidden-excess. Those are extra small screens, and this link would be hidden on mobile devices. So that you could do that. I'll just leave it normal for now. And let's save those changes, and then we'll head on over to your main menu. And those don't look bad at all there. Three links is plenty, plus your action link I think is good. Donate, contact, login. They're all action things too. Let's remove those two from your main menu. And good that you have your SSL certificate. By the way, guys, Google is going to crack down more on sites that don't have SSL certificates. They're going to be throwing up more alerts to the website visitors. So if you don't have an SSL certificate, you probably I would recommend getting the VIP Add-ons Club. It comes with an SSL plus all the add-ons that Brilliant Directories has. So let's delete the donate button from your main menu and your contact. Now, what that does is it opened up a little room in your main menu. What we can do is add some keywords here like holistic events. If that's okay that I put holistic events instead of just events.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then you said events are more important for the visitor, right? So maybe we want to switch the directory and the holistic and the
order.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's save those changes.
And let's so I'm looking at this on mobile. So on mobile, one of the links drops down because we have the 3. So I think it is a good idea to hide one of them. So maybe we hide the contact, but maybe I also put it under the about menu as one of the sub menu navigations.
Sure, you can definitely do that.
Or we hide the donate on the mobile, but I definitely think we need to hide one of them so there's just 2 links on the mobile version.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. And again, we're using your site as an example, but I hope the people watching, the audience, can apply these things to your websites as well to kind of, again, there's nothing wrong with your website. There's nothing wrong with the idea you have for your directory. A lot of it is just setting up the right navigation for the user experience. Did I spell this correctly? Holistic practice, holistic events. Let's hide the donate button. Now, do you want which one do you want to hide, Greg? The contact or the donate?
Let's hide the contact.
Okay. And you want me to tuck it under here as well, under the about?
Yeah, and then we'll add it under the about.
Okay. So we'll just add a new link in the main menu, toggle open the about, and I'm just going to drag this under our vision. And let's save that. So now it's a drop-down link under the about. And let's go back to the mini nav and hide that contact button on mobile devices. And we'll see an example of that. A little bit of lag there. Okay. So I'm going to add hidden -excess and save the changes. Great. Let's look at your homepage again. So under the about, we now have a contact. We have the contact here, but when we toggle to mobile, it's gone. So on smaller devices, it's gone, and there it is on larger screens. So we can see it disappears with that hidden excess. Clever little trick there.
Nice.
What is Are You Awakening take you to?
It's a page about like if you're getting onto a spiritual path. What I wanted to do was kind of help people. It's a whole conversation in itself, but people that get onto a spiritual path and start kind of moving away from religion, but trying to find their own connection with God. It's this whole experience that opens up, and actually for a lot of people, it's a bit maddening, and they think they're crazy. Their friends think they're crazy. So I wanted to actually create a little bit of a support system, which is why I have that on there. But to be honest, I don't know, if we're pushing the events in the directory, I don't know if that's really something that's important to have as one of our main menu options. Maybe that also gets tucked under the about. That might make more sense to have that as part of our about submenu.
I hear you. Okay, let's do one more thing then. Can we call this menu link Awaken Blog instead of just
Sure.
blog? Okay.
Sure.
When you do things like that, it's kind of branding that section of your site as with a certain concept. It's not just a blog, it's not a newsroom, it's the Awaken Blog, and it brands it in a way where people will expect to receive certain types of information from that section of of your site. And then lastly, are you awakening your about? Let's see. Okay. The reason I don't want to, I want to leave you. I want to provide the best options here for you. What I'm going to leave for you, Greg, and maybe you can show us what you did in the next webinar, is I'd like you to think of, instead of directory, it can be like find practitioners, or even member directory would be nice to show that you're a community. Having the word member would be there, even though it's for searching listings. Find a different name for this and figure out how you want to organize your about and are you awakening. The about can be your mission. So you could actually start with your mission there, because you are a nonprofit and you have a cause. And I would want to, when I'm visiting a nonprofit, I want to know what your mission and purpose is, more than anything else. So you might want to start with mission there and figure out where to put this are you awakening. And I think you'll have a solid main menu. And then with that, taking some of Pat's recommendations here for your pricing page, simplifying it, and maybe some of the example listings of each package might be helpful. I don't know too much, but if that will be super helpful, but it can't hurt. So I'd start by shortening this and making the premium listing super irresistible. Even consider going down to 2 instead of 3. Just make the paid one like a no-brainer for anyone who's serious about posting content on your site.
Okay. Yeah. Well, one of the things I was thinking of doing with the premium listing was to actually make it significantly more expensive, so it's almost more like a sponsorship level. And to your point, what I could also do is even just kind of hide it, and it's something that we pitch to potential sponsors.
Absolutely. So, hiding the paid option, anything to lower the barrier to entry to have people join your site is always helpful. So a lot of websites don't even show their paid options. They only show them after the fact that somebody signed up for free. And that lowers all the barriers to signing up. You show them the benefits. It's free to sign up. They literally have nothing to lose. And then you can welcome them and show them the other options after they've had a chance to experience a little bit of what your site has to offer.
Right. Okay.
Lastly, just a design element. Can I add a soft background color to this search section?
Okay.
The reason
can we do like a transparent window or something maybe?
Exactly what I was thinking. It's going to help frame the homepage a little bit better, and being wrapped in something, because these are just kind of freestanding. It's going to help direct the visitor. And let's see what we can do there real quick. So we're going to go to the design settings, homepage layout. Homepage search settings, tons of options here just for that little search module. It's really amazing. So you have your search visibility background is 0. Let's set it to about 8. And I'm just going to make it, we could go light or dark. I think I'm just going to go with white. Let's see what that looks like. If we need to go dark, we can switch it. Okay, just give that a second to update.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah, it does. There's a little extra space there. Let me see what's going on there. Let me just do a quick inspection here. Yeah, it looks like you've added some styling to your site, which I don't think you need. Let me just do a quick update here. Okay, I see. Okay, I don't want to mess with this stuff. You've done, obviously.
Yeah, I got a bunch of it.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to mess with that stuff. But yeah, I think this frames it a little bit. And instead of try starting with your zip, oh, I see. You're suggesting that they.
Yeah, because you're searching for events. Try starting your zip.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm open to suggestions for that line too.
Search for enlightening events in your area. that's I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think these are good changes here just to see how things change. A lot of it's going to come down to your pricing page, and also this main menu I think is a lot clearer now, and it could be a little bit better as well. But all right, thank you so much, Greg, for sharing your site with us. Catch up with us next week. Let us know how you updated your main menu and your pricing page. We'd love to see in the next webinar, excuse me, some of the updates you've made.
Okay. All right. I appreciate all your help, guys.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Very welcome. Thanks for sharing your site. All right. Thank you to Greg for allowing us to showcase your site and kind of provide some helpful feedback. Hopefully, some helpful feedback. If you would like your website showcased in the next webinar, you can submit your site to events@brilliantdirectories.com. Just please include a link to your website, and we will choose one person to showcase in the next webinar. So you can email events@brilliantdirectories.com. Please just share a link to your website, and we'll notify you prior to the webinar if your website has been selected to be showcased. So thank you again, Greg, for allowing us to take a look at under the hood of your site. All right, we covered a lot of topics in this webinar. I think by far the most we've ever covered in any single webinar, huh, Pat?
I think that's a new record for us, for sure. Before getting into the Q&A, definitely. So thank you for your patience, everyone.
Okay, well,
some good stuff there.
Yeah, hopefully you guys found some good value in there. I learned a lot putting this webinar together with Pat this week. So it's really been great. So now let's turn it over to you guys and your questions. If you guys have questions about your website and would like us to take a look, we'd be more than happy to do so. And we have our good friend Cindy. Cindy, I'm going to go ahead and unmute your microphone. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
Excellent, Cindy. How did you like the presentation today?
Very, very enlightening. I have been with you guys for quite a while, and I missed like probably the last 6 webinars, and I'm so happy I made it back here to join tonight.
Awesome. It's great to have you as well. What is your question for us today?
Well, my main question is, you guys kind of touched on it with the site that you highlighted this week. My website is theplace2stay.com, and that's the number 2. So I have my primary customer, the one that purchases subscriptions from me, and then the end user is a traveler, somebody looking to book a hotel and or a vacation rental. I am wondering if it would be beneficial for me to have 2 sites, one that really promotes everything that the large clients are for, large hotel chains, large property managers that list several hotels, maybe 5,000, 6,000 hotels at one time. So I'm wondering if I might benefit from having a site specifically for my property managers and hotel chains, and then just keep the place to stay to focus on the primary objective of booking end users in their properties, and somehow merge the sites together by linking, you know, not to offend Google or anything, but just enough so that the property managers can see what's happening on the travel site.
Okay, so let me ask you just one question. The end users are searching for places to book, right?
Yep, places to stay.
Places to stay, right. And then what would be happening on the alternative site for the property managers and the hotel chains?
That's where they would be very clearly understand everything that the advertising that they're doing with me or with our site, what all benefits are there, what all's happening, maybe industry news, but the primary objective would be to get the large chains to sign up all their listings, all their hotels, all their vacation rentals.
They would post their listings on this site? Or
right, they'd end up going, no, this would be basically a sales site, so it'd be to fill the place to stay's listings.
Gotcha.
So it'd be a sales brochure.
Gotcha. So there's a couple things there's a couple ways to accomplish that, and we've come across this actually. It is a real problem. Is how do you present the content to your end users without showing them, taking them through, pulling the curtain back and showing them that you're really trying to get advertisers to connect with the users, because that's the part that you don't want your users to see, is the business side of how you're selling people to join your site. So there are a couple options. You could create an alternative website, and it could be on a subdomain. So it could be like business.theplacestostay.com. And you can have all the benefits for joining that site and whatnot. And then when they sign up, you can link them to your regular placestostay.com, www.theplacetostay.com, excuse me, and direct them to the sign up page. So you can do that. Another thing is you can have premium content on your website, so you can have private content on your website, but that would require an initial registration or sign up to access that premium or private content. So I don't think that'll work well, because this information will be for people for the property managers who aren't registered yet, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm. Some that are already registered may go there to check out new options that are available for increasing their subscription or taking advantage of additional placements or those types of things. But in most cases, they would not have any relationship with me yet. So
here's a website for leaving reviews, right? It's called Trustpilot. It's kind of like a Yelp it's kind of like Yelp, to be honest, but just for leaving reviews. So here you can search for reviews by company. They have login and sign up for their regular users, and then they have this page for companies. Okay, let me go ahead and click on this link. So now this is their website that sells me on listing my business to get reviews from Trustpilot users. And this is kind of like their business portal. So they're not really hiding it, because it is an active link on their main page, but they are using a subdomain to basically sell businesses on joining their directory, which is a directory to get reviews on. It's a review directory, basically. And then here's the plans for the businesses, the feature, what you stand to gain. So you might want to take a page out of their book, because I've seen this not just with Trustpilot, but with other organizations, that they use a subdomain, and they usually link in the header or in the footer somewhere, kind of like discreetly, in the footer, because if a business is hunting to figure out how to join your site, they'll usually go to the footer of the site and see how to join the business part of your site.
And I'm not really trying to hide it from the end user. Most of them already see that. I have Priceline listings on here, and choice lists, all the choice hotels list with me and things. The bigger thing is to clear it up. So instead of having the get listed today, I'd much rather there be a red button that says sign up to save your favorite hotels, or create an itinerary for your next road trip, that type of thing. So I want to just clear up the path for them. I don't really need to hide it from them that we get advertisers. I just want to I want one site to be all about that end user.
Pat?
Well, I definitely think we're going in the right direction and making it about the end user. I 100% agree with that. The end user that comes to your website needs to completely identify that it's for them, that it's not for a business. I do agree with what Jason says, that the footer, if you go on Yelp, for example, or if you go on any of the major directories, if you go on TripAdvisor, if you want to list, the only place you go to list is in their footer. It's the only place where business owners can list. They don't have it in their header. They don't have it in the main sections. They don't have any banners. They expect people to go to the footer and find out how they want to promote. You'll get much better conversion if I have a property and I see that if I can understand what the site's about, that it's for my customers and it's built around my customers, then I'll do what I have to do to find out how I can join your website. I'll be motivated to figure that out, just like I am on TripAdvisor, just like I am on Yelp, and many other websites. They all operate the same way. They make it about the end user 100%. So I think you're on the right path here.
Okay, perfect. So that's what I'll do. I'll kind of move everything down and see how that benefits, because that's the other side of it was gaining SEO. None of the TripAdvisors, Expedia, Priceline, none of those sites are actually red-oning. None of them are doing a site that's specifically about signing up with them, which would also create great SEO for people that are searching to find sites. And 58% of all companies that have hotels or vacation rentals really are the small guy, and they have no idea how to do it. So it'd be great to really push. They do ads, but nobody's really gaining much strength for SEO. So I think I could kick some butt there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do think the earlier part of the webinar where we're talking about lead magnets, I could tell by the way you're speaking how knowledgeable you are and how much you can really help these homeowners or property owners increase their rental rates. And I think if you created some lead magnets, doing a Facebook post to renters or property renters and targeting that audience and having them go to a landing page, whether it's an article that you wrote or whether it is a landing page that you created that's kind of hidden, but that eventually leads them down the path to signing up on your website would be a great route to go.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. You are very best.
All right. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Good stuff there. And we're just touching on the fact that even with Greg's site, making it about the end user first, thinking about the end user first, and it's done differently for different types of websites and industries. I think with this one, Cindy, yeah, definitely you have the freedom and the ability, because it seems to be industry standard that everything for the businesses is tucked away in the footer, so you can confidently make everything about the end user in the top of the site, in the mini nav and in your main menu. So great topics there. All right, let's take a few more questions here. How are we doing on time there, Pat?
Yeah, we can take a few more, definitely.
All right, let's go with Kevin here. Kevin, how you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Fantastic. Where are you calling from?
Well, I'm based out of Idaho here at the moment.
What's your question for us?
I was calling on the hidden member profiles option there that I seen you come out with. On one of the sites, I'll be having Group A that I need to have them be able to search Group B, but not see other members, and vice versa. I need to have Group B search Group A and not necessarily see other members in Group B. So I just want to know if that was be able to be set up using that feature. So I have
could we call them employers and applicants if it was a job website that employers could browse the job applicant database, but job applicants wouldn't be able to see each other or the employers?
Yeah, that'd be a good way to put it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you should be able to do that. Do you have that on your site? Can we check it out?
Yeah, I really don't want to pull up the site.
No problem. Let me go to Let me go to a site that I know would have that. Give me a second here. No worries. And we'll just go over the logic here. I got a fresh site launch here. So what he's referring to, let me just catch everyone up here. Let's go to our Brilliant Directories website real quick. There's an add-on. It's called Hidden Member Profiles. And basically, you can decide which members have the privilege of viewing and searching for other members on your website. So premium members can search all members, maybe basic members can only search other basic members. LinkedIn kind of works the same way with how you can search for jobs and certain types of employers and members levels and things like that. But where you would edit that is in the Manage Products section. And let's just edit the basic member. And when you have the add-on enabled in the search visibility tab, because it's related to search visibility, there is an option here, select which other members. It sounds confusing, but you can wrap your head around it. Which members can these members search for? So we can make it so basic members can only search for and view other basic members. and then you can do that with the premium member. So let's say I save that. And then what you can do with your premium membership level is you can go to search visibility, and you can make it so they can only, which other members, select which other members these members can search for. So these ones can search, for example, basic and premium. So in your case, you would want to invert it. So premium members can only search basic members, and basic members can only search premium members. So that's how you would set that up.
Okay. But you could probably expand on that, of course. And let's say if you wanted a basic member to be able to only have access to 1,000 companies, or if you advanced basic user have access to 5,000, you could set that up as well. It's just a matter of setting up each level of a membership and just checking off what they apply to then.
Yeah, there's ways to create flexibility with the thing you said about how many results they see. I don't think there's a setting for that, but you can definitely dictate.
Well, what I mean by that is, let's say employer group A. If I only put 1,000 companies in that group, period,
yeah,
and give them access to that, then that's going to limit them based on what I put in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a great workaround.
Yep.
All right.
That solves
my problem then. Okay.
Yeah, give it a test and let us know in the next webinar if that worked out for you. Good stuff.
Yeah, and then just one other question I'd ask too. You may not want to get into it, but on the home page there, if I wanted to set up like a video, introduction video for Group A and Group B, is that something that could be easily implemented, or should I set up a separate pre-landing page for them in coming into the site?
Well, if people are coming,
other than limiting,
if people are coming to your homepage, you're pretty much targeting everyone that comes to your homepage, so it's not like a designated landing page for one particular membership level. But you can easily add a video to your homepage, like a YouTube video or something. This text here, this is probably the easiest way. We did it in a previous webinar.
Mm-hmm.
These two modules here, they're in your design settings. Let me show you where. And what you can do. This
works really, really good. We use this all the time. It's super helpful.
So you don't really need to do it. You can go to your homepage layout, and then the last option here is the about website and join offer. Those are these two modules here. And what you can do is you can go ahead and wipe one of them clean, and just put your YouTube embed code here, whatever it is, iframe, whatever the embed code here, and just save your changes. And then the video will show. I lost my spot. Will show in place of this text, and you get a nice video on your homepage. And better yet, if you put accompanying text in the adjoining module that's the same height, so it looks aesthetically pleasing, it really looks purposeful and a nice design with the video on the left and complementing text on the left side or right side, depending on what you want.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Thanks for your question. Hope that works out for you.
Thanks.
All right. Good question there from Kevin. I got another K here. Our good friend Ken. Ken, how you doing today?
Very well. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Was the webinar extra useful today or medium? How spicy were things for you?
Well, it's always pretty spicy, but I think it was extra spicy today. I've been taking a lot of notes. Thanks very much.
Okay, good. Great to have you with us.
Extra spicy webinar.
What's your question for us, Ken?
We're a VIP add-ons club member, and until now we've had an SSL security certificate with a third party, and we want to know how to transfer it over or to have the SSL certificate through the VIP add-ons club.
Sure. So what I would recommend doing is first you can just email the support team and let them know that, hey, I'm a VIP add-ons club member. Please connect the SSL that comes with my VIP add-ons club. After they've connected your the VIP Add-ons Club SSL, then would be an appropriate time to go ahead and cancel the current one that you have with a third party.
Okay. And how long does the process normally take?
I think the SSL is set up within 1 or 2 days after 1 or 2 business days after you submit the request.
Okay.
Okay, and they'll notify you.
So that was my question.
Okay.
Short and simple. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you, Ken. All right, I think we got time for a couple more questions here. We got Yosef on the line. Yosef, how you doing today?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Where are you calling from, Yosef?
I'm Manchester in the UK.
Okay, okay. Late night there. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Kind of help
The ukgateway.com. I've had this site built and then I reset it. I just want to know where would I start, because this isn't for me. I build websites for client. Now he didn't like it and he told me to do something that's good. Now the way I look at it is how I like it. The way I've seen you do your webinars is you do it what's good for the customers, the people using the website. So what would you recommend I should do this? It's more like for a local directory.
Got you. Now, this is going to be a directory of UK businesses, or what do you mean when you say local? Because UK is a country.
So it's about 3 different small communities within the UK. So it'll be businesses and then some residents.
Okay. And is this going to be for tourists or for locals to browse?
Locals, within the locals, yeah.
And they're looking to get educated and informed on what to do and what's available in those certain areas?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then people's the people within the community's contact details.
Okay, so there's also the actual people who reside there, not just businesses.
Yes.
Will have public listings, so like a white pages.
Yes.
Okay, perfectly fine. What I would recommend, actually, you've started with our yellow pages directory. I would actually recommend starting with and you can email the support team, ask them to install the local travel guide to the site. Now, you can tone down the phrases like hotspots and things to do, but this layout might serve your client a bit better. It's still a yellow pages, but what it does is it does have a focus on content and things to do in certain areas, which may be more appealing to the customer, and I think does a better job of creating a portal to explore certain regions and areas. So again, these are top level categories here, like accommodations, food and dining, things to do. Now, I don't know how many different local areas you're serving. Generally, this would be for just one region. Like this is kind of, we catered this to the Los Angeles, California area. You can see pictures of Hollywood, and what you can do is, I guess it's called white pages for local listings of actual people who live somewhere. You can make one of the main menu links the white pages or locals directory, whatever makes sense for you, and add that to the main menu link. But what you can do, Yosef, is email the support team, ask them to install the travel guide theme for you, and I think this would be a better starting point than the yellow pages directory theme.
Right. Now, there's one big problem which I've run into is when uploading members, which I have on a CSV file, is getting the categories between people residing and then businesses and getting it well with searching and everything. How would that?
I would set up your top level category. Instead of the top level category as accommodations, fine dining, things to do, like the categories for businesses, I think what you should do is set up your top level categories as like local resident and then business/company. So that way, that way it's very clear if what you're searching for is how you're importing people, if they're a resident or a local business.
Right, and then you're saying within the lower categories, then make different businesses and then different residents.
Exactly. So I don't know what kind of categories you would have for a local resident.
Just different areas.
Sure. Yeah, you could do that. You can have the neighborhoods or the suburbs or regions. So you can, I don't know, the regions in the UK, but you can have the London, you know, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the businesses you can do, you know, the regular, then you can go the main business categories from here.
Right. Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Joseph. Good question there. All right. So he's a web developer making a website for a client. Very, very common. We see that a lot of agencies work with BD. So good to know. Hope your client has some success with this. All right. And I think we got time for one more question here. And we have, again, our good friend Wendy. Wendy, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear. How'd you like the webinar today?
Unfortunately, I came on at 8 o'clock, a little after 8, and I know I missed a lot, so I'm hoping that you'll have a tape soon.
Yes, we will. We'll have a replay hopefully soon.
Okay, great. I have a quick question, and I have a small and a bigger question if you have time for that.
Absolutely.
My quick question is, if you go to the website, elegantlivingdirectory.com. Okay, so now if you go to, on the nav bar, if you go to featured businesses, that's a new section I added. Okay, we're featuring businesses that may have a, you know, they're talking about their business and, you know, whatever is good happening in their business. So I'm using a third-party application where I'm changing their PDF into a magazine type, which is shown here, and if you can see that. But the what I'm using right now, it's working off of the server of that third-party vendor. They say we can download to our servers and have this thing show from our servers. So it told me to create, you know, a new section, which I did, you know, on the server, on our servers, and, you know, download the information and copy the URL, and it should show, and it's not working.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Yeah, so generally with your BD site, it's more for your website security. It doesn't. You can add PDFs to. You can upload PDFs and images to your Brilliant Directories website, but to install third-party solutions, it wouldn't work. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You are creating these. This is like a magazine. This is a sample for one person that you're creating this?
It's going to be, I'm going to be featuring one business per month. So this is the first of many that will come. And I really want this page to look like a magazine. So, but I'm trying to figure out how to do that. But yeah, so I created this magazine. When you click on it, you know, you can expand it, and so you can, you know, actually read the writing and all of that.
Mm-hmm. So two things. This took a long time to load on my screen.
Yeah, it did.
Let me ask you, are you choosing this because you like the way that it automatically lays out in a magazine format for you?
Yeah, I want a magazine format. I don't care how I get it. It's like a magazine format.
Okay. Another thing is all the writing that's in this article, you're not going to receive any SEO value from that because Google will not be able to pick it up, and the person that you're spotlighting or featuring really isn't going to get any real value except that the fact that they'll be on this page for a period of time. I might So to answer your question in short, I don't know how this tool works, but it won't work to install on the server. So that might be something that you'll have to find a workaround for. Another thing is there's no SEO value with this. Another thing is I'm still trying to figure out what all these options do down here. And it's, oh, I guess this turns the page. I think a better thing for you to do, and again, I don't want to go against what you're trying to achieve, but you might want to utilize the website blog section of your site, create a category of featured members. See right here you have category options, and I do see that you're using your blog area. Create one of the categories as featured members and write a nice piece on the featured member on your website, and actually have it as an article that is actual text that Google would be able to.
I did. Yeah, I did try to do that, and I cloned the section, and I think I messed up the website so badly. And yet, although this is a clone of the blog site, it looks nothing like the blog site. So, I really did want this to look like a blog site instead of just, one full page of nothing.
The featured business
page?
Do you
understand? Yeah. Like on the blog site, it's nicely categorized, the different articles.
Correct.
It's separated.
Right. So what you can do is once you create a category, I'll just go to category 1. This is cool for everyone to know. So I'm going to search category 1. Let's say this was your featured businesses category. So what's really cool is, and what you can do is, now you have a URL that links to category 1. So what you can do now instead is you copy this URL and you use it as the link in your main menu. So when people click on featured businesses, they're going to go to the category for featured businesses, and now you have all of them listed here, which will be infinitely better than trying to use that third-party tool for your website, because the article will live on your website forever. You'll have content that you can link to, individual content, because with this one, it's just one page that you have right now. So what I would really recommend doing, and let me do this for you, is create a blog category called featured businesses. Let me see where you have your blog. Let me see if you have your categories here or in the form manager. Okay, it's in the form manager. Let me go there with you. And let's look for your blog feature. And I'm going to update the categories. Featured businesses. And I'll go ahead and save the changes. And now what you have, let me refresh the page. And let this load. So now you have a category called featured businesses. I'll just conduct a search for this, an open search. But now I have the URL here. So you can take this link and use it as one of your main menu links. And you can see there's no featured businesses listed here. But now you can start adding your articles here. I would recommend doing this. So now when you create the article of the featured business, make sure you categorize them as featured business, and then go ahead and write your article and puff piece on them, and they'll show up in this link on your site. So you can grab this link, put it in the main menu like we've done in the webinar a couple times now, and you'll be good to go. And you won't be using a tool that Google can't read, takes a long time to load, has a limited lifespan, and I'm sure that tool probably wants to charge you for some advanced features in the future. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay, that's a good one.
All right. Well, your site's looking great. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff there from Wendy's. She's a shaker and a mover, doing lots of things with her website. So really glad to see that. action-packed webinar today. I was excited about it. It turned out really well, so thank you guys for joining. Some final remarks. If you do want your website showcased in the next webinar, you can email events@brilliantdirectories.com. Please include a link to your website, and we'll let you know prior to the next webinar if your site has been selected. Thank you to Greg for sharing your website with us. It was great to review that with you. And then let me backtrack here to our Facebook contest of the week. If you haven't already done so, if you're still on the webinar, just take 2 seconds and go to facebook.com/Brilliant Directories and share the post that we have pinned at the top of our Facebook page. You will enter to win a chance you'll win a chance to receive $200 in BD credits that you can use for websites, add-ons, training calls, and more, and we will announce a random winner in the next webinar as well. We had a lot of fun building a Facebook ad together. That was great. That was the tip of the week. And again, the recommended reading, you can Google jab, 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 right hook, and it's a great asset to learn more about online marketing and really how to grab the attention of your audience. Great updates this week. And I just want to say, if you haven't already done so, join our Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. If we didn't get to your question today, have no fear. That's not a problem. You can ask it in the Facebook group, and we can definitely carry the conversation there. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Jason, Gabe, and Patrick. Thank you guys so much for joining us today in this week's webinar, and we'll catch you in the next webinar in 2 weeks from now.
Have a brilliant day, everyone.